How's it going, everybody? I'm Kamari and welcome back to the tavern. I'm super excited about today's video because we finally are getting our first big look at Hogwarts Legacy in a long time. Now, we did get a new trailer drop at Gamescom and it shows off a bunch of cinematic stuff, a little bit of gameplay but not too much, but it does give us a lot more information on what direction the story is going to be going. So without further ado, we're going to hop straight into it and see what we can learn. Now, right off the bat, it looks like I was correct when I predicted that not only would the Goblin Rebellion not be the main narrative of the story, but I was also doubly right when I said I predicted we would be taking a darker turn. In fact, can we get a replay on that? Utter gore or anything that would normally get this rating applied to a game. So that leads me to speculate that perhaps the story takes a more dark turn and picks up some themes that justify this rating. Some might think that's a far-fetched idea, however if we look at the patterns in the source material we have to go off of, it would actually be pretty par for the course. Now the first thing we hear in the trailer is this.
The more we know about Salazar Slytherin and the dark arts, the better prepared we'll be.
If either of you uses dark magic, I will notify the headmaster immediately.
So we know two things straight away from this. One, we are trying to learn all we can about Salazar Slytherin, and two, for some reason our character has been tempted to use the dark arts. Now I know for a lot of us the first thing we think of is the Chamber of Secrets. While I don't think that's the direction this is going, as we'll see later, it might not be too far off. The next thing we hear is this.
Unforgivable curses are so named for a reason.
The first sentence here sounds like foreshadowing. The professor is telling us that if we use these curses, there will be some consequences outside of school reprimand. We then hear another voice.
A spell that could save your life shouldn't be unforgivable.
Now, we don't know if this is our character or another character within the game, but they're arguing the point that if you could save your own life using the curse, then it shouldn't be unforgivable. Let me just say that I love this. This is a question that I've heard from other Potterheads countless times. Is it okay to use Avada Kedavra on a dark wizard who's trying to kill you? I love the way the narrative is portraying this idea, and I hope we will see the game dive deeper into this idea. We're also shown what I would guess is the Forbidden Forest, and 2 Beware of the Spider signs, and another Extreme Danger sign. Given the darker tone of this trailer so far, it seems to be pointing towards the idea that there is something we really need in the forest, but it's going to be extremely dangerous to get to it. Next up we hear this.
The dark arts seem harmless until it's too late.
We also see someone who has been completely mummified in a spider's web. This line, the dark arts seem harmless until it's too late. Again, we don't know who's saying it, but I really love this. The trailer is presenting these conflicting ideas and almost asking the viewer to pick a side. Now we do know from lore that using Avada Kedavra to murder someone tears or damages the user's soul. Knowing that souls are canon within the Harry Potter universe and are like spiritual objects that can be damaged, I would suspect that the person is hinting at the idea that once you start using the dark arts once or twice, before you know it, they've twisted you into a dark wizard yourself. But without more context, it's really hard to say. If we move on a little more, we hear this line.
None of us will be able to avoid dark magic forever.
Now this line sounds like it's making the argument that it is inevitable that you're going to run into dark magic, so you might as well learn how to wield it now instead of waiting until you need it. This makes me think that at this point in the game, we've run into enough encounters with dark magic that it seems impossible for the character to escape forever. As we move forward, we see that at least some of what we heard has been a conversation between 2 Slytherin students. One of them appears to be the Slytherin the devs said we would have a chance to befriend. We also see a female that I don't believe we've seen before. This could be a player character, and I believe it is because of this line.
It's up to us. I can teach you Crucio, or I can cast it on you.
I can teach you Crucio, or I can cast it on you. I could be wrong, but I believe that the player is being presented with a choice here. I don't think that this is an offer as much as it is a threat to the player. I think that in order to get past the door, it requires 2 people to cast Crucio, and the Slytherin is saying, look, you can cast it on your own, or I can torture you until you do. This is all speculation, but that is what my insight is telling me from this. We also see that the 2 characters are attempting to access some kind of chamber that is guarded by dark magic. If this is linked to Salazar Slytherin, then this would be similar to the Chamber of Secrets, but it doesn't actually seem to be the chamber. We then hear this.
You've made your choice.
A female, crying or wincing, saying, "You've made your choice." I believe that this is a way of the trailer telling us that there will be a lot of choices in the game, and a lot of them will shape the way that things happen within the story and the narrative. Now, I'm not sure how much player choice has the potential to change the story, but the way this is presented leads me to believe that there will be many choices within this game, and eventually we will see those choices bear fruit in one way or another. We then see some really cool action scenes, so here those are. Next, we see and hear the professor yelling at us.
What have the two of you done?
He's clearly angry, asking what we've done. Now, I believe this could be a critical point in the game's story. Did we accidentally release some ancient sealed away threat? Did it have something to do with Salazar Slytherin? It is clear that somehow, either by choice or force, we did use dark magic, and it caused something to happen that will have huge consequences. As for what that is, it's not possible to say yet. Lastly, in the trailer, we see all the bonuses that we can get from pre-ordering the Digital Deluxe Edition. I do have some thoughts on this, however, I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to save that for my next video. So let's head back to the tavern and wrap up. Thank you so much for watching that video. That's going to do it for me here at the tavern. As always, I'm Kamari, and I hope you enjoyed that deep dive into the trailer. There are some more things that I am hoping to go over, such as the different encounters we saw with the trolls and the other mummies and undead type of enemies. And I do plan on making a video about those things, but I didn't want to go too deep in this video. So keep an eye out for more videos diving into this trailer. Again, I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, have a great week.